As usual, Victoria.
Why?
Welcome to another exciting episode. Make a cool face. Yeah, so make sure you get the credits for that.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your manifesting questions answered live now.
Yes, that's
This is a
right.
very special edition of the show called the Yes Victoria edition.
Yes. So it's Feel It Real Fun for All on the 7th of June 2024.
2024.
So I'm thinking about the meat dates while I say the date. Sorry.
Yeah, so you can always now I'll tell you what. I didn't release this. I didn't release it yet, but we had another incident this morning where she was stuck on moon shadow. But maybe we'll talk about that today, because like I love her. And
okay.
All right.
So
Lisa and LaRock, welcome to the show.
join remarkable.com.
Join remarkable.com. Now here's the cool thing, right? Don't do it for the benefits. Don't do it for the free goodies. Do it for the fun.
Do it for you.
Because there's some people that are having a lot more fun than a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Right? Join remarkable.com.
Cool. And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That's right. Shall we dive in, Victoria?
We shall.
I tell you, we only have Lisa and LaRock here so far and one other mystery person. So maybe we should just chat for a moment.
We can.
So here's what happened this morning, right? So here's what happened before this morning.
Yes.
There's a cottage out back, and we get and Victoria says we're painting the inside.
We are now. I am. Well, yeah.
So years ago, she buys hospital white, right?
Yes.
And I said, I don't think about that.
Well, the problem was, I said, I want white paint, and he gave me a sample. It was that thick, and each little slot, like there was
right. But anyway,
hundreds of whites.
Tony said that ain't going to work.
Yes.
We got it anyway. Victoria painted the inside. Did it work? No. So we went back and we saw Alan Grimes.
Yes.
And Alan Grimes made us our own custom color. We said, look, take this one that you already made.
Yes.
That's one of your stocks. What are you doing?
Oh, he jumped up. And hit the iPad.
And change it.
Yes.
Right. We need this color, and he called it moon shadow. So long story short,
what we want to call it. And I said moon shadow.
Moon shadow, right?
Yeah.
So we call it moon shadow.
Yes.
Right? And it's really a good color for the inside of the cottage. Long story short story long. Before we get to the show.
Yes.
Right. One of my experimental fun things right now is the spontaneous desire to do the moonwalk. You know, Michael Jackson, hat, glove, all that bullshit.
And TikTok shuffle dances and all sorts of things.
Well, that's later.
All right.
Right. So we're playing with the moonwalk.
Yes.
And I'm playing with the moonwalk this morning, wearing something like my underwear or less in the
Yes.
kitchen, right? And I said, check out this, right? And she goes, oh, you're doing the moon shadow.
Yeah, because it was in my head.
It was in her head already because of
we
the
were painting
cottage,
yesterday.
right? Now this is
Yeah.
going to factor in for the rest of your life and the show.
Yeah.
So we're up to requisite 5 now. That's good. Let's dive in, Victoria.
Okay, prerequisite of 5. So, right. And we're going to dive in. Is that good?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
First question today is from Teddy from the podcast.
Teddy from the podcast.
How can I double my income and
Bop. I get this one a lot.
Yeah. So Teddy asks, TT, you often talk about doubling your income and working half the time. I can't see how that's going to be possible for me because of my job and my age. Can you help?
Absolutely. Now, here's the cool thing. I don't know how old or young you are.
Yes.
So you've got your own excuse, and I don't know what it is content-wise. Right? So it seems to be something to do with your age. But the other thing is you're trying to figure out it. Now, that's a question that I've evolved over time. That is really, really good because, hi, Penny, if you doubled your income and worked half the time, how would you buy peanut butter or petrol differently? And it comes down to, and I know there's going to be somebody out there that says, I don't do peanut butter because peanut butter carries that shit that gets to you, and I don't do petrol because I have a Tesla. And it's like, I get it. Right? So if you doubled your income and worked half the time, how would you buy almond butter and charge your Tesla differently?
Yeah.
Right? How would you feel about it? Right? What would your experience be? Because this comes from exploring. When you're trying to replace a problem with a solution, well, I'm imagining this, so I want to imagine that, it just sets you at war with yourself. It's like saying, right, I want to move from this star to that star. I want you to be able to go at warp drive with all the stars. Right? So this is where we begin. How can I double my income and work half the time? I don't know. Maybe you write an ebook. Take 7 hours, sell it for $7, sell 1,000 copies of it, write a few dozen more ebooks, so on and so forth. There's things that I can say that are strategies. But more importantly, you get to explore how would your day be different.
Yeah.
Right? So I go shopping every Friday to leave her alone. Me and the puppies leave.
Sundays.
Right? Every Friday begins with a little song that I sing, and it's who's coming, who's going, and the third question is who's staying.
Yes.
And I just get in everybody's face, right?
Yes.
Who's coming, who's going, who's staying.
Yes.
And like Bruce and Emmett decide one of them's coming, one of them's going. Victoria decides she's staying. She's pretty predictable.
Yes.
But having doubled my income and worked half the time, doubled my income and work half the time again, I've got time to hit both markets, make friends with people. So I saw this guy today, and believe me, every word that I says is not a ramble. It's a good thing, right, Alessandra? And so I meet this guy today, where I'm going the up, he's going the down, and we're like two ships passing in the night. And he's got this lovely beard, and he's got eyes like my dad.
Oh.
And he's wearing this really nice hat. And I said, nice hat.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's like, he leaves for a while and comes back. And he looks at me and goes, wow, you got a nice hat too.
It wasn't that one that you were wearing.
So you already went sucker for it, right? Because someone will go, what hat is he wearing? Not the hat I had on this morning.
No.
But here's the thing, right? In my mind, I'm still lingering on the lovely guy and the lovely hat that I had.
With a beard. That looks like your dad.
Well, it looks like my dad.
Yeah.
Victoria's still in moon shadow. Shit will linger in your mind. So don't try to figure out how to make more money. Let something linger in your experience of what would your day be like. I've got time to go shopping and meet strangers. Do you have any idea? I came here, I knew nobody. Right? Do we ever go anywhere at any time locally?
You're not shouting it to someone, hey!
Yeah, exactly.
I
Right?
haven't seen you in ages.
That's right. Like Friday.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
let us continue. We
Yes.
want to get you out of rational and into magical. Because rational is always the interference, magical is the dance floor.
Now the website, so for Teddy, so he came, it's from the podcast, which is nevillegoddardpodcast.com.
NevilleGoddardPodcast.com.
Okay.
That's right. That way you have it for your
Exactly.
thing. Yes.
Just
Right.
double checking.
That's right.
All right.
If you type
cool.
in NGP on any of the iPads, it should toss it up, NevilleGoddardPodcast.com.
Oh, even in iMovie?
Well, try it here.
No,
Yeah,
in
you get-
iMovie it won't. Anyway, I'm just
You sure?
maybe.
If you type in EMM, what shows up?
Yeah, because I
Or MMC. Yeah, I programmed all this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, cool.
All right.
MGP. Thank you.
Anyway, Tony Doyle, welcome to the
Excellent.
show.
And thank you, Teddy, for your question.
That's right.
The next question's from Barry via email. Where can I get your new book?
Hoo-ha says.
And Barry asks, I love your podcast episodes when you share your new book bits. Where and when can I get it?
Who the hell knows? Right now, here's the thing. Right, I made a sacred vow. I was on a one-on-one call, and then I was on 2 one-on-one calls, where I said, you know what, I'm going to write a book during the month of May,
Yeah.
and I have.
Yes.
All right, I've dictated it to Otter. I've downloaded all the dictations. I'm going through and doing my edits. I'm having a lot of fun with this.
Yes.
But what's happened is, so I averaged about 15 minutes a day of me talking, and that'll chunk down into, looks like the size of 2 decent little books right now. Right? Plus, what we're going to do, just for fun, is sell the audios, and you get the book for free, in the ebook version. Or you can just buy the ebook, or you can buy the print book when we put it up on Amazon, all that bullshit. But odds are the recordings will be available first, because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, plus you get to hear my voice, right? Now, here's a cool thing, right? Here's the homework for everyone on the planet. Don't listen to AI Neville. And don't listen to Barry Peterson's Neville or anybody else. And I love Barry. Barry's dead, right?
It's not just Barry then.
No, different Barry, right?
Yes.
But I mention it because when you read Neville, I suspect it's probably useful to hear his voice in your head, right? Because he talked from a state, and there were inflections that revealed things. When I speak from a state, there are inflections that reveal things. So y'all that know me, and if you buy the book or if you get the recordings or both, you'll hear things that most people don't hear. And in the event that we figure out how to put it up on Audible, because we've had friends do that, you'll hear me doing it, sort of like how Gary Vee did Gary Vee's books, not somebody else reading Tim Ferriss's book, right? Which is just weird. I've Tim Ferriss's audio book from a decade ago. 2 decades ago now. And it's like, it's weird hearing somebody else say Tim's stuff because that person doesn't have Tim's patterns.
Yeah.
Or perceptions.
State. Yes.
Or his state.
Yeah.
So.
Got ya.
Fabulous, Victoria.
Very good.
All right.
Okay, there you go, Barry. Keep a lookout.
That's right. Keep on the lookout. We'll be sending out emails. You guys get the daily email, and we'll be posting things in the Facebook groups where you can pick up the good shit. So, cool. She's not like the ho has arrived. Cool. All right.
The next question is from John via email. What are the benefits?
All right.
Question mark.
All right. Pay attention, John. This is pretty good.
Okay, so I'd love to join the Healing and Miracles group call, as I have health issues, but at $97 US, it's too expensive for a call, not knowing the benefits or what I will actually get in the call.
This is fabulous, John. So I sent you a quick reply. Thanks for letting me know. All right. So if you stuck around, we'll share some stuff here. Ready? It costs money. Right? Hashtag it costs money. For me to do what I did this morning. What did I do this morning? I heavily deviated. Right? She gives me a shopping list. And that's just, as far as I'm concerned, that's just a suggestion. It's like, yeah, here you go. Right? Yeah, that's all right.
There's quite a lot of things on it.
Yeah, quite a lot of suggestions, right? Yes. And I go shopping and I heavily deviate. Yes, right? I have a lot of fun. I make friends, so on and so forth, right? So, but long story short, how do we do with the list?
Well, I'm hoping, Ace. I still haven't found the list to double check what you missed, but that's fine.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, with your internal representation, how do I do with the list? I came back. Are you happy with the shopping?
Yes. Yeah.
I got dog chicken. I got all that stuff. Right. There were 2 things I didn't have.
Oh, what was the other one? Because I know original tikka masala sauce. What was the other one?
Listen to her. What
was it?
It's called torture. Right. So, what are the benefits that you get from the call? Here's the thing. It costs money to go to the store.
Yes.
Right? So I get in her buggy, I drive her buggy to the store, I park her buggy at the store, I walk in. It takes time and it takes money.
Yeah.
Not $97, but it takes some, right?
Yeah.
What I do in the store is my own damn business. It's my responsibility to get what will feed her, feed them, and feed me. Right? Now, here's the thing. I don't call up Woolies or Kohl's or any of these other markets and go, hey, what's the benefit of me coming to your store? Right? Because at Woolies, they didn't have lamb shanks. No. And I told her tomorrow is lamb shank day. We're having 10 lamb shanks. Right? Do the math. Like, how many critters is that? Yeah, we'll see how many we can cram in the slow cooker, right? But how many critters is that? That's like 4.5 critters, right? Without shanks now, right? I know.
Dragging their bellies on the ground. Sorry, I'm just picturing it. Keep going. Yes.
Anyway, I'm a visual storyteller.
You are.
So, what I get at the store is my responsibility. Right? Some people will buy manifestingmasterycourse.com and say, I bought it, nothing happened. I said, did you bother doing it? Well, I looked at some of the lessons. Well, next time do it. We're not going to charge you again. You want to do it again, do it again. That'd be lovely. Right? Send me an update every 7 days. You've got to play. If you're not playing, it doesn't matter if you have a bat, if you have a ball, if you got a baseball field, right? Or a pumpkin. If you got a bat and a pumpkin, anybody ever do that? Right? Yeah, some of y'all.
Bat and a pumpkin.
Yep, it's Halloween. People got pumpkins, and you go to ball bat. You can imagine what happens, right? It's up to you, right? Do you get arrested for smashing pumpkins? Great band, by the way, right? So, how much fun do you get out of it? What are you going to do with it? Not my problem. All I can say is this: years ago, Charles Atlas. Anybody familiar with Charles Atlas? Charles Atlas ads ran for how many decades? Tony? Right? Decades. The guy was, the whole kick sand in the face thing, all that stuff. Grow some muscles, get a girl. Very simple message, and his ads ran for decades. Why? Because people bought it because it worked. If it didn't work, if it was a scam, nobody would buy it and the ads would go away. So if you're going to emulate ads, you emulate ads that work. Right? How do you know an ad works? They stay in business for 40 years. You get where I'm going here? I've been doing this shit for a while. Started in 99, got back online in 2002 after a web hack. 22 years later, we've got so many products. Do you think that there might be something worth investing in called you? And I'm saying this to everybody on the planet, right? The problem is, it's not whether or not you believe that I'm going to give you a benefit. It's what are you going to do with it? I could go to Woolies and I could just drop glass containers on the floor for 20 minutes and get arrested. Or I can go to Woolies and get what I need and get out, and hit Kohl's, get what I need and get out.
Something different, yes.
Yeah, and I can deviate heavily.
Yes.
So, it's a little rant, but what it comes down to is, look, if you're drawn to it, surrender to your desire, or go into your head. And people will stick themselves forever with bullshit, including poverty, sickness, all this bullshit, because they'll go into their head instead of getting into their lives. So it's too expensive call, not to know the benefits of or what you actually get in the call. I don't know what you'd get. All I know is we give gold, and some people mine it and refine it, and some people don't. And this is your whole life, not just my call, your whole life. So
I like that. I love that. Mine it and refine it.
Yeah, mine it and refine it.
Mine it for what it's worth. A lot of the people that come along, it's fabulous.
Well, you moved here.
Yes.
Before I met you.
Yes.
This place was what we would call a potential.
Yeah.
Right? Some people looked at it as a knockdown. Victoria looked at it as potential. What have you done?
Expose the potential.
Exposed it, explored it, expanded on it.
Yeah.
Even in the amount of time, like we've had people come here multiple times, and between the first visit and next visit, they go, wow.
Yeah.
Right? Because of what we're doing with it. What would you get out of the property?
What would I get out of it?
Yeah. When you're buying it, are you going, what do I get out of this?
Oh, no.
Right? No. What can I give to it?
Yeah.
And there's the other thing. What are you giving life to? It's not what can I extract from this fucking orange. It's what can I give to this tree to help it produce more? So that was a great little rant.
Yeah, it was. It's ace, John.
That's right. So obviously this is not for everyone, but it may or may not be for you.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. By the way, I'm like this. I bought a Kindle book last night. Remember? So I went over and then I came back, and Victoria just sort of looks at me like, I said, buying a Kindle book. Hit a button and I leave. And I go back and I smoke a cigar.
Print it, leave. Yes.
Yeah, I go back and smoke a cigar and I read a Kindle book. It's only 90 pages. It cost me like $10, $12.
Yeah.
Right. Zzzt. I got one good thing, right, that I can run with, and I'll reread it and get more good things.
Yeah.
But what's the benefit of buying the book? Well, it gives me one more book on my Kindle, so I can say I've got 3,211 books on my Kindle. Or I can extract something from it and use it to even bless you guys today.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I went in to do a conference in the UK when I was doing computer stuff. It was a Sage conference. But the thing was, it was in London. I was living in Wales, so it was like an 8-hour trip or whatever just to get there. But I do remember thinking at the time, it was just like, no. If I get one thing out of this, it's worth it.
Yeah,
like for
obviously.
me, I just knew it, and I got a lot more than one.
Yeah. What are the benefits of owning a BMW? Right, I got to admit, right, I've been talking at the pool. I've been letting people know because it's time for 2020 to get a new used car, and I'm going to get an old Merc that's been modified. It's got to be bulletproof, bomb-proof, and bazooka-proof, right? And it spins people out because I tell them, look, I only drive 6 minutes a day. I don't care what kind of gas mileage it gets. I just want to know when somebody smashes their shit car into me, I can get out and wipe it off. Right? What are the benefits of getting the car? It ain't that. The benefits of getting the car is I got a great story.
Yeah.
Right? And I love stories.
Yes.
So you get, for some people, the bulletproof, bomb-proof, bazooka-proof car might be useful, Dan Andrews. For me, it's just another chance to tell a story. And if people go, you're a nutter. So yeah, I think out of the box. Right? You might want to play the same. So, cool. Lisa and LaRock, you know what? I think about you every day when I'm looking at Mercs. And I'm looking at them, and I think about you supporting me behind all that. So, thank you. Cool.
Excellent. The next question's from Martin.
Martin.
Huh?
Martin.
And I don't know where it came from.
Martin.
Email, Facebook. But anyway, Martin with money problems.
Martin
says, if you're right and money equals speed, why is...
No. And we're back. Hopefully, it didn't screw it up.
Money for me. So I'll start again.
Yeah, start again, just in case.
Because there was a glitch. If you're right and money equals speed,
Yes.
why is my money situation so slow to change? Money for me feels monthly.
This is great, and I compiled this out of 2 emails from 2 different people, just to be clear. Ready? So let's go with it. Ready? So money equals speed. And I'm going to tell you a story. Right? Once upon a time,
Yes.
Double T wanted some lamb shanks. And he goes to the guy that has lambs. And the lamb shank guy says, I want a bicycle. 20 doesn't have a bicycle. So 20 has to go find somebody that has a bicycle or steal one. And so he finds somebody who has a bicycle, and they say, I want a puppy. And I said, you can't have mine. So I go to find somebody who has a puppy or where I can steal one.
Puppy to get the bicycle, to get the lamb shank.
Yeah, exactly, right? So meanwhile, Victoria's at home doing yoga for days. She's going, where did they go? Right now, what happens while I'm out playing puppy, bicycle, all that stuff, is I run out of petrol. Good God! Right? What do you want for petrol? So I want some pickles. Well, the good news is we've got pickles. So I get my phone out to call Victoria and tell her, hey, bring some pickles to the petrol station. Right? But my phone's dead because I didn't pay the bill. And I didn't pay the bill. Why? Because you know what they want for the phone bill? Oranges. You ever try to find an orange in winter in Australia? Or you have to go to the store. When you walk into the store and you want an orange, you know what they want?
God knows.
God knows, right? Now, for me, this whole thing where people go, money is the root of all evil, we need a world without money. So I think that you're ridiculous and clueless and probably living in mommy's basement, right? Not you, Martin, right? but
Yes.
Martin, right? But when people tell me things that are ridiculous, I just get very ridiculous, right? Money is speed. So you know what I do? So we do things like, hey, for $97 you can, for $100 a month you can join Remarkable.com. For $97 you can get a special call on Friday. Hey, here's some shit that I made up before. You can buy that, right? And people send me ones and zeros, and I send them ones and zeros. It's called money and virtual stuff. It's a lot of fun, right? So, by the way, I'm going back to that first thing, double your income, work half the time. So while we're exploring all this, I just noticed money is speed. Otherwise, you'd have to figure out how many puppies does it take to give someone to get on a rowboat and get from California to Melbourne so you can have a talk with me, right? Excuse me. I love you a lot. I do.
Oh,
I do. I'm getting kisses.
Can't see it.
Look at it. Oh, I'm getting kisses.
Oh, I know. You're a good boy, Bruce.
All right. So money is speed. That's the chunk size and the angle that I notice money from. Another chunk size and angle that I notice money from, and we bring this up in ManifestingMasteryCourse.com, is that the world is my employer. I've got hundreds and thousands of people that pay me. Christiane just watched the Bagger Vance. That's right. Nice, buddy. Send me a text. I'd love to know your best bits, your strawberry bits.
Yeah.
So, for me, I notice money is speed. I also notice the world is my employer because I just explore what 2 sticks can I rub together so that a lot of people benefit. And some people buy my stuff. Some people say it's $97 and it's too much and I don't have the benefit from it. So why would I
Bother.
Yeah, bother. Right? So with all that in mind, money to you feels monthly. I bet you get paid bi-weekly or by the month. Money for me feels daily. Right? So here's the other thing. Send out an email, talk some shit with someone, somebody does or doesn't buy something. Cool. Right? I get a lot of feedback very fast. And I'm not saying quit your job or whatever, but I'm saying I bet you it feels monthly because you've had a monthly lifestyle. Back in the old country, you paid the electric bill once a month. And something weird happened. I came to Australia, we're hanging out, getting married, all that bullshit. And then doing this thing called pay the bills. And we get this electric bill. And my brain goes, my God, it's like $600. Right? Because I'm used to like $100 electric bill back in the old country. They don't care about environmentalism or anything. We do here, apparently. We tax the shit out of anything dealing with anything. It's like, we're going green. We're going to tax you some money. All right, that's a weird-ass story. But anyway, we get this electric bill that's like $600. And I go, wow. That's like $20 a day. And I don't know if you remember this, but you said, no, we do that every 3 months. So, right. So here we are 14 years later. Right, we've had the loogie. We've had other things going. We didn't have the loogie, but the loogie went around the world, so did the lockdowns. And everybody said, we're going to double the price of everything so you can work twice the time and be half as broke, or twice as broke, or something like that. And now we get the electric bill, and it's $1,200. I go, no biggie. Next. Right? So the time reference with the electric bill once every 3 months, that would scare me if we had that every month until we double our income again. Once or twice. All right. That's pretty good. All right.
Cool.
In other words, we get out of, you've got rationalizations about money that you don't know about. And we get to a play where it's more magical. All right, write me back. This will be good.
Cool.
That was good.
Very good.
I had fun with that.
You did.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the guy going to the store to get it.
Yeah, but it really is funny though, because people do these things like, well, Mr. 20, if you were really good at this, you wouldn't need my money. Hey, I don't need your money. I'd like it. I'd like to be able to give to you, but with an attitude like what you got, can I give to you? Yes or no? The answer is no, right? Yeah. So I'm not taking your money, right? I just say, hey, if you want to do a trade, let's do a trade. If you don't get the value of the trade, don't do the trade, right? Eat cat food.
Yeah, it's like that other guy that was talking about the crawl.
Yes. That's exactly where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
By the way, so I arrest this lady once, right?
You what?
I arrest this lady. I'm working at Bilo in one of the northern suburbs of Pittsburgh. And this lady comes in, and I watch her sticking cans in her jacket pocket, right? She goes to the cash register. She doesn't take the cans out. She doesn't pay for the cans. So I do the snatch and grab. The badger, take her in. Turns out she's the chief of police mother, right? The chief of police. Yeah. His mother. Right? And she's stealing cat food. And of course I ask her, what's your cat's name? Right? It's a real clever interrogation tactic, right? Yeah, I noticed you didn't pay for the cat food. What's your kitty's name? She goes, I don't have a cat. I said, ma'am, let me ask you a question. Why are you stealing cat food? She goes, well, because I'm hungry. Long story short, the manager says, let her go, right? And I said, can I have a word with her at least? And he goes, okay, I'm going to stay with you, though. I said, okay, cool. So say to her, says, all right, ma'am, manager says you can go because your son's the chief of police. I get it. Ready? Steal tuna next time.
Yeah.
Why anyone would steal cat food to eat instead of stealing tuna to eat? Right? The world is your oyster. Right? Chunk it up a little bit. All right. And that got nothing. No replies, no loves, nothing. Incredible. All right. In other words, why are you imagining cat food when you can imagine tuna? Still nothing. Well, we got a like. We got a like. All right. Somebody got and one love. All right. And it won't let us see who.
All right.
That's wonderful.
So that was for
and another
Martin.
Love. Martin. Oh, look at that. Somebody went nuts. Oh, it's Beth.
I think it's just a bit delayed.
Yeah, that's all right.
Or else they just need commenting.
Yeah. Okay, we need to get we need to get a sign that says
Clap now.
clap or laugh. Oh, that bullshit. We'll make one.
Applause.
All right.
Yes.
Why imagine cat food? Exactly. Right now, I know Galaxy's voice. I love Galaxy's voice. She's probably just going. Say, I love you.
Yeah. Still.
Imagine if still real tuna. That's right. Still real fucking tuna. I don't get it.
Well, there you go. They're all responding to you now. All right. So, yes, thank you, Martine, for your question.
I got a homeless guy story, but I can't go there.
We'll move on now. And the last question today is from...
Actually, I will go there.
Oh.
So I used to go to Austin, Texas a lot, right? And at one point, I found myself hanging out with homeless people. Just chatting with them, right? I want to know what went wrong. What do you got going on? How can I give? And one guy I get to know pretty well. And I asked him one night, because he dumpster dives for food. And I said, which restaurant has the best dumpster? And he never thought of it that way. I saw him like 2 months later, and he's like, you know what? I took your advice. I didn't realize it was advice. But he started hanging out at the better restaurants and grabbing the better food. Yeah, exactly.
Diving into their dumpsters.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's like, dude, love you, right? I mean, it's a true story. There's the other one with Dylan Craig and Lisa, but that's another story.
Cool.
All right.
Okay. And the last question today is from our remarkable Lisa and LaRock.
That is the rightness.
Judgmental or silence shooting?
Ooh.
And Lisa asks, hello 20 in Victoria. Your recent post, 20's recent post in Remarkable, spoke of judgmental and silence shooting. Since immersing myself in your groups and programs, I've noticed that I've shifted from judging, which seemed to be a responsible action, to a rapid fire archer. Calibrate, aim, shoot, on repeat. I used to think my arrows were few and precious, so I judge and plan before taking action. Oh, that is fabulous. So anyway,
Yes.
Because of knowing who I am and how this works, I now have a limitless supply of arrows and opportunities. Hitting the bullseye is natural, and an occasional miss, no big deal. Scarcity, lack and fear seem to be the playfellows of judgmental. Silence has freed me to a full and fantastic life. I'd appreciate hearing you both chat about this. Thank you, Lisa.
I think I may have bought one, but I've looked at them. Pentax K1000. Somebody write that down. Did I buy that, or did I just look at one at an op shop?
What is a Pentax K1000?
Well, if it's in our house, it's a paperweight. So Pentax K1000 is a glorious paperweight. In the 80s, they cost about $150, and it was a camera. It was a 35 millimeter camera.
That's
right?
a camera.
Yeah.
That's a paperweight, yeah.
So being a 35 millimeter camera, now it would be a paperweight. But I remember seeing one at an op shop, and I don't know if I bought it or not, because it was my first camera, right?
Yeah.
But meanwhile, so with the Pentax K1000, on a good week, I could buy a roll of film and shoot 36 shots. On a poor week, I could buy a roll of film and shoot 12. And then you had to pay to get the damn things developed. So to shoot 36 frames in a good week, I got some good tips on my paper route or whatever, it cost more than 12. And so you'd have to be very judicial about what you shot. Right? And there's only so much of a parameter. I mean, you gotta pick the right speed of film, and you gotta adjust your thingy-dos so the needle lines up just right and all that stuff. So I'm looking at 12 to 35 shots a week, 12 to 36. That's it, right? Fast forward. So in the past, I would have to be very judicial. Now, there are some days I can shoot 1,000 photos.
But
right?
Is judicial isn't necessarily like judgmental, like going off mental inside the head, or do you think it is?
I think so. It's a different process.
Yeah, okay.
Versus I can get out the iPad or the Sony A6000. Love the Sony A6000. And I can pop off hundreds of photos in an hour.
Yeah.
Right? And delete 80% of them.
Yeah.
But while I'm taking them, I'm going, no. I'm instantly adjusting. So as I instantly adjust, I'm not looking for signs. Because back when I had the Pentax K1000, you'd shoot the photo and then you'd pray.
Yeah.
Because in 10 days you get it back and you try to remember what you did.
You have to process the whole roll as well, so it's
right.
So
it's slow, it's time consuming, it has you always really reflecting on the past and probably not doing all that well with it. Versus shooting these photos, because Lisa and LaRock shoots marvelous photos.
Yes.
Right? I'm talking breathtaking. And if you miss one, you go, all right, you do an adjustment, you shoot another one. If you miss it, you do another, you shoot another one. Or I'll shoot one, like I shot one where there was a rainbow on Brucey's face. And then 30 seconds later, it was a better representation of a rainbow on Brucey's face. You guys have never seen the first one. You've seen the second one. But it's like, right? It's just, I calibrate. Or I take it and I go, radio, the f-stop needs adjusted. Right? So your life is not to be... Most people are still living life with 1950s technology. In other words, film. And what's available to you is so much more beyond that. And so in Remarkable, one of the things that we're exploring is calibration. In other words, adjusting in real time. Noticing, whatever you're doing, what is the response that you're getting? First internally, and then let's just call it out there. But if you're calibrating in real time, you have no need or time to beat yourself up or judge them. Yeah, I just notice in real time is what I'm doing working or not, right, as it's happening. So you suddenly become much more present. When you become actually more present, not like New Age fluff bunny present, you start noticing endless opportunities and possibilities. So one of the ways that I explain now about who are you really, I've been saying for years, you are how God has the adventure of a lifetime. You are the silence which you could hear me in. You are the stillness that all apparent motion happens within. You don't have to find the silence between thoughts or whatever. That's just bullshit. You are the stillness. You are the silence. The other thing that I'm currently sharing with different languaging is you give rise to possibility. You give rise to all possibility. And so whenever you feel like you've got one chance, one arrow, one special person, one opportunity, one treatment method, one, you've lost. On the other hand, whenever I've got endless opportunity by engaging possibility right now. That's where the fun and the dynamicness shows up. And so I used to think my errors were few and precious. How glorious is that?
Yeah.
If your errors are few and precious, you're worried about losing them or missing. And so, I mean, I had one of my favorite handguns was a little Ruger 22. God, I can't remember the model number of it. Mark 5 22. I must have put 10,000 rounds through it because it was cheap. 22 long rifle ammunition back in the States. I used to buy it at like 1,000 rounds for $10. So I'd go rootin' tootin' shooting all the time. Yeah. Versus some people wouldn't. Right? They were so worried about expending their precious ammunition, they wouldn't get good at shooting. I got really good at shooting. Rootin' tootin' shooting. Can you tell I had fun doing that? When you get that your arrows are unlimited, you start having some rootin' tootin' shooting fun. Right? If I'm shooting 100 arrows a day and I miss 90, I still get 10 hits. If you're shooting 1 and you get a miss, that's a 0. If you get 1 and you shoot a hit, or if you shoot 1 and you get a hit, that's a 1. I'm still playing at 10. So, what do you reckon, Vic and Natoria?
Oh, it's fabulous. And I loved, like I said, when I stopped halfway, like I used to think my arrows were few and precious. So I judge and plan before taking action.
Have you ever done that? Yeah.
That's just gorgeous.
Yeah. You don't have to. That's the fun. It's great to go, radio, I got me a plan. I've watched her so many times. She gets her plan and she goes out and she starts to do something. And then she comes in and she's like Eddie Murphy. The plans have changed. They changed the plans. If they want to live in a donut, they'll let them live in a donut. Right? And it's fun. Because you get to discover the dance along the way, too. So instead of judging yourself based upon, do you ever plant a tree and have it die?
I'm sure some might have.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah, guarantee it, right? But you'll notice she doesn't even remember it now. Before, she used to beat herself up. Should buy trees and not plant them so they wouldn't die.
Yeah. In the ground. Yeah. They just die in the pot.
Yeah, exactly. But I didn't waste my time planting that one. So what's it become? What happens is 20 goes, oh, I can make a spear out of that. Right? Listen to them dogs.
Yeah, there they go.
Anyway.
Cool. Excellent.
I thought that was great.
That was fabulous.
And by the way, if y'all are listening and watching, join remarkable.com. We're exploring cool shit like that there. Right? We mention it here. We explore it there. Or you just stay in the public groups and just wonder, hey, how can I manifest my special person? Who hit the lottery?
Yeah.
Right, solve all your problem.
Cool.
Anyway.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, Lisa. That was ace. And what we want to know is tell us what was your hashtag strawberry bits.
Boom, boom, boom.
And I just love all your stories. So I guess the book's going to be ace. But yeah, all your stories are talked about. And it actually really reminded me of that, in that last question you were talking about your gun and how it didn't cost you much and how I used to love it. I used to have just a pellet gun. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
A rifle, though.
Yeah, a little air rifle.
It was like quite long. But, and I used to, I loved it. And I used to fire out of when there was a flood. Because I lived on the river house, and the river would be right high, and there'd be logs coming down the mirror, occasionally fridges or sorts of things, do you know what I mean, floating down if there was a really big flood.
You could tell Victoria's big fantasy.
Oh,
I'm shooting a Frigidator.
I was out the window, imagining the alligators or something. But, yeah, and it was just, when it became fun like that, that's, I think, probably what it is. When it becomes fun, when you're not judgmental anymore or judicial, and when arrows aren't few and precious or whatever anymore, when you suddenly realise, oh no, this is just so much fun. And it didn't care whether I missed or not, in a way. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, let me try again.
And when you missed,
yeah,
you adjusted.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me shoot again. Yeah,
yes.
Calibrated.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, so
nice.
That's mine. Hello, Emmett. I heard you all. What was your hashtag strawberry bits?
I just enjoy how it all comes together.
Cool.
Yeah.
So they were our hashtag strawberry bits. And while you type in yours, go to joinremarkable.com.
That's right.
Yes.
Hi, Emmett.
Anything else you'd like to say? How many seats are left on tomorrow's call?
I think there were 2 seats left for tomorrow's call. It's Attention, Healing, and Miracles.
Yeah.
So we'll put up a link since Alex Knott's here. And check your inbox. We've been setting up links on it this week. So 2 seats left.
Yeah.
And
cool.
All right. I don't think John's going to take one.
And no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's obvious.
For refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
Have a lovely day, gang.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.